In this video, we're going to use the things that we've learned from solving equations and apply that to formulas. Looking at my first equation, I have t equals y divided by p. I'm going to try and get p by itself. In order to do that, we remember that when we were doing the other equations, such as this, we had to first get rid of my bottom, or my denominator. So we're going to do the same exact thing. So the opposite of divide by p is going to be times by p. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. My p's cancel and I'm left with y on the right side, and on the left side I have p times t. Now again, I want to get p by itself. In order to do that, I see that next to p I have a times t. The opposite or inverse of times is divide, so I'm going to get rid of that t. My t's will cancel and I'm just left with p equals y divided by t. This second one here, I want to get y by itself. I realize that if my x and my r are right next to my y, they are being multiplied. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to get rid of those things because I want the y to stay. So I'm going to divide by x and divide by r. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. My x's cancel, my r's cancel, and I'm just left with y equals t divided by xr. Remember, I wanted y by itself, which I have, so I am done with my problem. Here, I want to get x solved for. I notice that I have 1/3 being multiplied what's in my parentheses, so I need to do the distributive property, which is multiplying. 1/3 times 6x is going to be 2x. 1/3 times 9 is going to be plus 3. I still want to get x by itself, so I work away from my variable. The opposite of plus 3 is minus 3. I do that to both sides. My 3's cancel and I'm just left with 2x. I have still p minus 3. My 2 is right next to the x. They're being multiplied, so the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm dividing by 2 to both sides. My 2's cancel, and I'm just left with x, and p minus 3 divided by 2 is my final answer. Here I want to get x by itself. We notice that this is an inequality. I find my variable, which is x, and I work away from it. Right here, this is a positive ty, so the opposite of positive is minus ty. I do that to both sides. My ty's cancel, and I'm just left with px. And I have z minus ty. My sign will stay the same because I did not multiply or divide by a negative. Again, I still want x by itself, and right now I have a p that's being multiplied by it. The opposite of times is divide. My p's will cancel, and I'm left with x, z minus ty divided by p. I did multiply, but I did not multiply by a negative p to both sides, so my sign stays the same. Finally, I want to go ahead and get e by itself. I have an inequality because I have an inequality sign. I do not touch the top of my numerator yet, so I have to get rid of a divide by y, which is times y to both sides. My y's will cancel, and I'm left with c plus e and y times t. Now in front of my c, there's no negative, so it's a positive c. I do the opposite of positive c, which is minus c. So I subtract c to both sides. My c's cancel, and I'm just left with e on this side and I have y times t minus c. I have my e by itself is what I want, so I'm done.